guys and gals? Now we're here from Drake Wing Gaming. It's something down on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of NeveN, A Ket's Path. So y'all, excuse me, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Alright. I paused to stare intently at Vol's back. What is he telling me? He obviously realizes there's a problem as he turns to give me a quizzical look. What is it? It's absolutely out of the question to experiment anything on my lover. Vol's gaze passes briefly from a cat to me, then he sighs, clearly uninterested in my comment. And why is that? Because we haven't the slightest idea of what might happen. I must admit, Lord Vol, that I'm not particularly enthusiastic about this idea. We know exactly what's going to happen. You've done it before, on a much larger scale. During the contest, we don't have the slightest idea of my ability to replicate what happened there. What if I stop his heart or something? In that case, you'll just have to put your brand dormant again. The only risk here is if you lose control, not to mention that we know you can only freeze him for a short time. Why don't we try it out on you directly then? You can't do it. I'm too heavy. I exceed your weight limit. I doubt that's the case with Lord Cat. Still... I could feel a cat grabbing me by the shoulder. It's okay, Ellois. I trust you. I know you won't hurt me. I'd appreciate it if you'd show a little more respect, Lord Vol, and I'd also like you to give us a heads up from now on. I beg your pardon? Oh, I'm sorry, he meant that more as a statement. I beg your pardon. Very well. We can try, I suppose. Vol nods forward, entering the classroom, while the cat flashes me a nervous smile. Despite his kind words, I don't think he's at ease. I'm not either, but the priest is right. It's time I tried it on an Anthrakin. I just hope everything goes well. Once in class, Vol returns to his usual place, while the cat gives me worried looks. You can stand in the middle. I just need to be able to see you for this to work. And I promise you, if I see the slightest thing that doesn't work as planned, I'll stop everything. He gives me a shy smile before heaving a long sigh. And don't forget that I'm here too. I'll make sure everything goes smoothly. I hope so. Let's go. If we don't hurry, I don't know if I'll have the courage to do it. With a final smile of encouragement, I start singing as I fix my eyes on a cat. As my brand awakens, I can see a white circle slowly spinning on his chest. As I focus on this circle, I immobilize it, and a cat stops moving altogether. Not a feather stirs, not even his torso rises to the rhythm of his breathing. Impressive. So this is what happened to us during the competition? I guess. I was a little too panicked to really pay attention to what was going on. I approach the cat, eager to get a better look at him now that he's motionless. Although he still has a somewhat worried expression, I can't help noticing once again how utterly cute the cat is. I come closer and place a kiss on each of his cheeks, unable to deprive myself of this small pleasure. Is that really necessary? I have every right to kiss my partner, Vol. I almost regret it, though. In this state, his feathers are rock hard and totally still. It's not exactly the most pleasant sensation in the world. Whatever it is, make your brand dormant. I think it's lasted long enough. I obey quietly and let a cat move again. He blinks in surprise and touches his cheeks. From my perspective, the only thing I see is the three of us standing silently in the center of the room. Fascinating. Did it work? Did I freeze? You've changed places in the blink of an eye. Indeed, everything seems to have worked out without a hitch. Did you do something to me while I was frozen? I suddenly felt as if someone was touching my face, but it only lasted a fraction of a second. Oh, I was just... Did you feel it? The moment you were able to move again, did you feel what had happened during your immobility? I think so, yes. Well, I felt something, but I'm not sure what it was. Would that mean that I could interact with the objects or people I use my power on? Possibly. I thought you were simply freezing them at a specific moment with no possibility of acting on them. But perhaps I made a mistake there. So, Ellois can freeze someone and then do whatever he wants to them. I like that idea. Ellois? I'm kidding. I don't know. We'll have to do more tests, especially to see if he's the only one who can interact like that with what's frozen. Are we going to freeze a cat again? No, I've got a better idea. Vol reaches into his pockets and pulls out 3 small pebbles. Seriously, what's going on in there? How many stones, pebbles, and other junk does he have with him all at once? At all times. Sorry, I'm on an edible right now. With a flick of his hand, he makes them fly in front of him before placing one in front of each of us. Ellois, I'm going to ask you to freeze all 3 of them, and then hold your brand active for as long as you can. Then both of you hit the stone in front of you. A simple flick should do the trick. If we're able to interact with them in their frozen state, they should move the moment Ellois deactivates his brand. What about your pebble? I think we'll be able to interact with them. I'll try something different on mine. Don't worry about it.
So, I just have to hit the stone?
Precisely.
Then all you have to do is wait for my signal.
I activate my brand again, freezing Vol's pebble first, then Aket's, and finally mine. Alright, go ahead. Aket gives his pebble a slap, then lets out a little yelp of pain. Then I do the same, without the cry of pain, that is. Vol, on the other hand, has pulled his hammer and starts hitting the pebble as hard as he can. Then he hits it again, and again. So...
Vol, what are you doing?
I told you, I'm testing something. Make sure the rabbit stays focused for as long as possible. A new bang of his hammer echoes through the room. Do you have any
idea what he's trying to do?
Not really, but I hope for his sake it doesn't last too long. I've already had to freeze you, and doing it on 3 objects at once tires me out pretty quickly. Vol continues to hit the pebble with his hammer. I've got to hand it to him. He knows how to put some force into what he's doing. When he wants to. However, after about 40 seconds at this pace, my vision starts to blur, and staying on my feet becomes increasingly difficult. Vol, hold still. I want to keep going as long as I can.
Lord Vol, he doesn't look well.
Oh, there we go. Damn it, cursor. Vol ignores a cat as I start to pant. This isn't the first time Vol has pushed me to the very edge of my limits. It's not exactly a pleasant experience. He continues to strike his stone as my vision blurs, and I'm getting more and more tired as my legs shake.
I think we should stop now.
No, you can hold on a little longer. My knees give out and I find myself on the ground. I can barely see what's in front of me.
Ellois!
I don't have the strength to say anything. I remain in this position for a moment, before finally making my brand dormant again. The very next moment, I try to catch my breath, while my sight slowly returns to its normal state. Then comes to me the vision of what would have happened, but in the state I'm in, I hardly pay attention to what's happening.
Ellois, are you alright?
I'll be fine. I just needed to rest for a bit. It was more than worth it. I look up to see Vol almost literally beaming with pride. Looks like I was right.
I think you can wait a bit.
Yeah, it's not the first time he's ended up on his knees. In 2 minutes he'll be as annoying as ever.
Lord Vol, show some respect.
I apologize, but this brief moment of embarrassment has taught us so much.
And what exactly have we learned, other than that I hate being like this?
To begin with, it is indeed impossible for everyone to interact with what you freeze to a certain extent. When you make your brand dormant, both your stone and Aket's reacted to the brief shocks you gave them. They're both sent a little further into the room as you'd expect.
Isn't that what yours did?
No, and that's where things get fascinating. I wanted to check to what extent we can interact with the frozen objects. Is it only the last contact, the first, an accumulation of everything that's happened during the time it was frozen? He smiles and bends down, picking up what looks like a small pile of dust from the floor. The last answer is the correct one. This is all that's left of my stone. It instantly disappeared into dust when the brand became dormant. I could never have done that with a single blow of my hammer.
So what? The things I use my brand on feel everything they went through while they're frozen?
Yes, and they experience it in a single instant, accumulating everything that happened in a split second.
That's impressive. And dangerous. Imagine what I could do to someone with that. Not to mention the effect it has on you. I'm beginning to wonder if what we've planned for the festival is really such a good idea.
I won't need to hold it down on that long, about 40 seconds at most, and if I ever start to get too tired, I can just stop it all. You don't have to worry about that. May I ask exactly what you plan to do?
You can even see it for yourself. All you have to do is come and see me in the arena. One second, y'all. Let me get this thing out of my eye, you little motherfucker. Okay. I offer Vol a big, tired smile as I try to get to my feet. My legs are still shaking, but I can stand. The priest sighs and claps his hands. Good. Once you're back on your feet, we'll be able to start again. This gives us plenty of testing to do. Are you going to continue training today?
Of course.
But he's barely standing. This is ridiculous. Aket, I'll be fine. I just need to rest a bit. You've still got training with Gilliant, and with the festival nearly here, I'd like you to get some rest.
I'm perfectly capable of... On second thought, I think he is right. We both give Vol a surprised look. I almost forgot that the festival was coming up, and although I'm extremely intrigued by what we've just learned, I agree with Lord Aket. You represent the kingdom of Frostfang and the powers of your brand. We can't afford to make a bad impression. You need to be at your best. Don't come tomorrow. Get some rest.
Do I get a day off? Really? Who are you, and what have you done to Vol?
I don't know what kind of monster you think I am, but I can be reasonable.
We thank you for that, Lord Vol, and I'm sure Ellois is grateful too. Oh, yeah, of course.
We will naturally compensate by working harder once the festivities are over.
I figured as much.
Vol lets out a short sigh. Anyway, I'll release you for the day. Try to get some rest before you head out to find Gilliant.
For once, I absolutely agree with you. I intend to do just that. Aket puts his arm under mine to support me, and I can still feel my legs shaking as I move forward. I know I'll be more or less back to my normal self in a little while, but it's still pretty unpleasant. Thanks for this. You're welcome. Shall we go?
Yep, I'd love to take a little nap right now.
Oh, and, of course, I hope I'm allowed to cuddle the softest of cushions.
Aket blushes as he looks away, but he doesn't say no.
The day off was most welcome, although we still spent some time rehearsing with Aket. But not having to worry about Vol or getting beaten up by Gillian is still nice. I woke up early, firstly because it was necessary, and secondly because despite my confidence in Aket's abilities and my own, I can't stop the stress from showing. I can't afford to screw up anything, even less than during the contest. The eyes of the entire kingdom are on me. This is my chance to prove to them that I deserve my place as a royal bard, and not just because of my brand. I couldn't have slept much longer anyway. Someone came knocking on my door to bring me a package, the new official outfits promised by Melbourne. As I understand it, they've just been completed. No one has seen them yet. For the record, I have to admit, Melbourne is taste, if he's behind the design. I'm gonna be dazzling in this uniform. And Aket will look even cuter than usual. I put on my new outfit and take the time to observe myself. It really suits me, and I'll have to think about thanking Melbourne. He's even thought about our safety. The cloak covering my left arm is lined with a chainmail light enough to not to impede my movements. I then lean over to look at my face a little closer. I'm glad I was able to rest yesterday. No trace of fatigue or anything. I'm as cute as ever. I'm as cute as I've ever been. Now, the only thing that can screw up our song is ourselves. And, if I'm going to be perfectly honest, I'm not really worried about the singing part itself. I know Aket and I are more than capable of delivering an extraordinary show. What I'm really worried about is the demonstration of my powers. Not only will it require me to be up high, which is an ordeal in itself, but I'll have to use them for quite some time. I hope I don't tire too quickly. It hasn't been a problem during rehearsals, but who knows? Things might be different in front of an audience. There's no need to worry. All I have to do is make sure I sing as well as I can. The rehearsals have been going well, so there's no reason why things should suddenly go wrong. Excuse me. Once again, there's a knock at my door. It's probably Aket. I quickly slap both of my cheeks to compose myself before heading off to find the Falcon. It's showtime. How are you feeling? I'm worried and excited at the same time. I feel a bit like I did before the contest. After a quick lunch, we made our way to the city arena, where most of the festivities will take place. There's already a huge crowd around, but unfortunately we have privileged access. As members of the court, and also as performers. We were then led through a series of corridors and tunnels that run beneath the arena itself. These allow those who are about to perform to prepare, whether they be artists or warriors. Aket and I are supposed to kick off the festivities with our big opening number. I have absolutely no doubt that the stadium will be packed regardless. I'm sure a lot of people want to see what I can do. Alright, y'all, I'm actually going to pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to give a quick shout out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank y'all for all you do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Katie Silver, and thank you for going above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you to our gold tier patron, Trezum Guy. You're awesome. We love you. Thank you for subbing to our ultimate tier. Anyway, if y'all want to get your names in the credits, get access to all of our not safe for work content as little as $5 already. I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!